TV. Light to the world.
Quran 8 verse 30 says, they plan and Allah plans. Surely Allah is the best of all planners. What does it mean? We have to plan, but let's not rule out that Allah has a prescribed plan for us, and He wishes for the best for all of us. Today on Ikla TV Africa, the program is SALAAM Cafe, and my name is Mukwaya Mayanja Yusuf. I have come up with a plan as we wind up the year. Are we ready, or are we prepared for next year? So I'm looking at an ultimate plan or year planner for 2021, where we are going to set goals. But when you set goals, my friend, don't forget to pray to Allah so that He blesses the plans and makes you able to execute them. So we are looking at the ultimate 2021 planning. So you have to plan with me. It's unfortunate you can't plan ahead before doing an analysis of what you've gone through, of what you've achieved in 2020 and what you failed. Alhamdulillah, 2020 has been a blessing. Despite of the difficulties, the global pandemic of 2020, the COVID 2019, but then the COVID-19, the year has been a blessing. By the mere fact that you've been able to get through this year, it means we have to say Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. So let's begin by reviewing the year 2020. Mashallah, for me, my physical health has been able to get better. It has been able to get better. I've been smooth all the year. It's only a few days when I had that huge cough that brought some fever, but on the contrary, I've been physically fit. And when you are physically fit, you tend to be mentally fit. So, mashallah, that was a blessing. Then, during the third quarter of 2020, I got a burnout. I don't know if every one of us understands what it gets to be having a burnout. A burnout is a situation where you tend to be having a low productivity and your creative hormones tend to be low. This is, for my case, it was out of a situation that I was overworked. I reached a situation where I could only sleep for, because me, I'm used to sleeping for 7 hours a day. But then I had to sleep for less than 7 hours. Sometimes I could sleep for 4, sometimes for 5. And then this brought certain issues with me. For those of you who have been following us on our sister channel, Deal TV, there are times when I was not producing any stuff. That was a period when I got a burnout. But after some time, I'm grateful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was able to take me through this period, and I was able to energize and then go back to my foot, and then here I am presenting to you guys. Then in the beginning of the lockdown, I had enough time for myself. I used this time to do self reflection, to think about things that I used to, uh, I was supposed to do, that I wasn't doing. I Within this time, I had to do a lot of self reflection, and I was able to read and learn more about my deen and then even other stuff. So I'm kind of a loner, and this threatens most of the people. But I find myself satisfied when I have my ample time to sit in my own space, uh, read and learn. So I had to run to read and learn more about my deen, which was a grateful achievement that I'm grateful. So Allah helped me to achieve. And remember, it was during this lockdown that we had Ramadan. So this was ample time. I had to get ample time to do. To practice Madin without having a lot of uh, distraction, just because we were under a lockdown. Though it came with a lot of hindrances, that the masjids were closed and stuff like that. But then, Alhamdulillah, we were able to go through, and then a lot was achieved. When I look at my list, then I have some personal achievements that I was able to achieve within 2020. Alhamdulillah. These are personal achievements that I'm not willing to disclose to you, my people, or to put on social media, just because I keep most of my uh, life private. For example, there has been a trend, how do they call it? Challenge that has been the my uh, firstborn challenge. But then when I on Facebook, so what I did is I I posted my logo as my firstborn challenge, and then someone came to me and was like, you guys, aren't you proud of cheering you? I'm very proud of my daughter. I love her so much. Salam alaikum, Madia. But then I'm not willing to put her out there, because I know the dangers that come with social media. So I tend to keep my family out of the social media. But then, and then even my personal achievements, I keep them out of social media. But what you have to know is I have achieved a lot, mashallah, and alhamdulillah. I pray that Allah blesses me with more blessings so that I can achieve more. Then, as a person who is more into reading, in 2020, I was able to do a lot of reading. And then, with reading comes with a lot of wisdom. So, I did a lot of reading. I went from reading one book to another, spiritual books, different books that inshallah I'll be sharing with you, so that you can be able to also do the reading and then get something or learn a bit or two. Then I was able to do a lot of writing. I do writing, I do poems, I do songs, and then I've been doing films, full feature films, and then short films. But then during the 2020, I was able to write my first short movies that was short, and inshallah it will be airing on this same channel within Ramadan. Inshallah, the Hijab Queen is a phenomenal short movie that I wrote, and then I pray inshallah you'll be able to watch it in 2021. And then I hope to do more related project, inshallah, in 2021, that you'll be able to see. So into 2020, as we analyze, yes, we are going to see to plan. But as we plan, we have to analyze what we've been going through in 2020 so that we can have uh, a proper planning of what we need to achieve in 2021. So I'm looking at the failures and achievements of 2020. I had some failed business, like two or three, but then that was it. And I learned my lessons from them, and inshallah, I'll be a better businessman in 2021. Then in 2020, I became more conscious with keeping the environment clean and knowing the dangers of having a polluted environment. So, with my team, we were able to take on the don't litter campaign, especially looking at the plastics and then the other related litter that is spoiling our environment. So there are different projects that we've started on that will be exposed to you into this campaign, and inshallah we hope to get into more activities that can sensitize the masses on the dangers of littering the environment, and specifically more so into the plastic. The plastic is a dangerous element to our environment, so we have to look into it critically. Then, yes, 2020 was a year that I lost my dear grandma. This is someone that I loved so, so dearly. But then we pray and I pray, inshallah, that Allah grants her Jannah and then uh, puts light in her graveyard, inshallah, so that she is forgiven all the her wrongdoings, and then her good deeds be rewarded, inshallah. But all we say is, from Allah we came, and if from him we shall return. So let us all try and do good for that day that we'll be able to meet our creator, so that he will be pleased with our deeds. So going forward into 2021, inshallah, these are some of the goals that I wish to achieve. I have a desire to learn more about my deen. I want to learn more in terms of reading the Quran, and then in terms of uh, learning even other developmental elements uh, that can help me be a better me in this life. So I consider to do even more reading and learning more about my deen. Hopefully, I'll be able to take actions like I'm enrolling on different platforms that can help me learn more of my deen. Then I want to do more and take this channel, inshallah, to the next level. Because to me, this channel is like Sadaq Tujaria. It's intended to enlighten, to make people more, to expose the Muslims to what we have to learn, of what life has to be. If you look out there are so many secular channels, but then the Islamic channels are few. So, inshallah, I want to put more into my effort into putting the Ikla TV channel to more and more platforms, inshallah. There are those of who are asking, when are we getting to the set box? But inshallah, we pray that we put more emphasis, we do more content, we do be more creative, so that we can take the Ikla TV Africa brand to the next level, inshallah. Then I want to uh, to do things that make me a better me, things that make my personal relationship better. I want to be having good relationship with my friends, with my family, and I want to have more time with my family, especially with my dad, because every time I talk to my dad, he says he's in his evening hours. So he's, at least every time I tend to relate with him, he tells me a thing or two that I learn and that can help me through this dunya and in the life after Hila. So I want to have more time with my daughter. I want to have more time with my wife. I want to have more time with my relatives, my brothers, my sisters, and my friends. So I want to call them. If I can't see you physically, I can call. I can have time on to chat on WhatsApp, on Twitter, and Instagram, so that we can be able to communicate and then create a good environment and then care about them and support them, because many of my relatives could be having different projects, but how do I be able to support them as a Muslim, as a relative? So I want to uh, do that. Then I want to incorporate the barak element in everything I do. Many people, that would be an episode for another day, but that is about baraka versus rehearsal. But if you are able to know this, rehearsal is always draining, is always taking away from us. We are never fulfilled because we are into the rat race. We is driven by ego, is driven by being the best, driven by having so much money, but there is no fulfillment. But if you chase the balak kind of lifestyle, you'll be able to be fulfilled, just because balak lifestyle or element is in looking at the blessings of Allah, the Creator. So in everything I'm going to do, inshallah, in 2020, I want to incorporate the Balak element so that I'll be blessed. My niyyah or my intention to be about praising Allah. If I'm working for the people, at least I know that if I praise my people, my benefit is, if I make you happy, my Allah, my creator will be happy, and I'll be receiving blessings, which is balak. So I'll be doing that. Then there are certain things I want to give up. I want to reduce the amount of time I put on social media, especially Facebook, because it tends to be a distraction. There are a lot of distractions. So I want to reduce the amount I spend on social media, but I'm not giving up on social media, but I'll just reduce it to following only those channels or people, personalities that are adding up. The likes of Mufti Menki, the likes of those preachers that are adding to my deen, and then those motivational speakers, those motivational videos that are making me a better me, other than following those people that are bringing a lot of information that even sometimes is false, that is diverting me away from the creative part and then diverting me away from my deen. But then uh, as we went up then, uh, uh, any planning without an action plan, without action, is dead. It won't be, nothing is going to happen by itself. So when you plan to make something, then you should be able to execute it. So I have to divide, to come up with an action plan. For example, I want to work on my health. Uh, then the action plan would be to at least do 2 week exercise. yes, I've been doing the morning walk every day, every day, every day. But then I think I need to exercise more. So at least I want to exercise 2 days a week. Then I need to, under my physical health, I need to cut on the consumption of processed food. I was reading somewhere that the consumption of wheat is dangerous to our bodies. So uh, I want to reduce in from Uganda, where I come from, there is what they call the Lolex. The Lolex is a mix of chapati and eggs, and then sometimes they add onions and tomatoes. So, but I do a lot of this Rolex and Commando, which is chapati and beans. So at least I want to reduce on the amount of wheat I consume to make my healthy, physical healthy good. So I cut down on processed food. Mashallah, I've been able to do away with sugar for, I think this is the uh, eighth year learning, mashallah. So I pray that I keep going that. Then I need to, I'm reducing my sleep from 8 hours to 7 hours, just because I identify that there is a sport that I need to use, especially in the morning hours, to do more of the praising Allah and then praying and then earning. So I've been sleeping for 8 hours consistent, but then I'm reducing it to 8 hours. But then you have to do something that helps you. Because me, I take some regular naps within the day, and then I'm an early. I go to my bed right early. So if you tend to do this minus knowing what you do through the day, you might end up having a burnout and exhaustion. So you should do what fits for you. Then I want to avoid those addictive foods. There is a friend of mine who always buys me chips and chicken, and but then I want to do away with most of these addictive. I'm this kind of person who loves the chicken pie. Every time I go to the city, I buy chicken pie, but I want to do away with this addictive food so that I can be physically healthy, and then in the year 2021, inshallah. Then uh, the action plan for learning is, I've already enrolled for a learning online learning session, mashallah, and I pray I'll take it through 2021 so that I can do more of learning my deen. Then I want to join another online tafsir so that I can still learn more about my deen, inshallah. Then I'm doing to I've always listened to audiobooks, but then I've been doing it on mostly motivational books. So I'm switching to do listening to more of the preaching sermons, and maybe still do a 2 or 3 audiobooks every month, inshallah. But I want to add more of sermons so that I can uplift my deen. Then to review and memorize more. So I have to do to write, because every time we go to, like, for the Juma sermons, the kutuba, we just do the listening. But then when you never write down and then analyze what has been preached about, and then do self analysis, and then uh, personal evaluation. So, inshallah, I'll be doing more of jotting down what is being in the sermons. Those are the audio sermons that I'm going to listen to, and then analyze and weigh where I'm doing good and where I'm doing bad so that I can improve, inshallah. Then there is the financial element of life whereby I want to do more businesses. I've already drawn up my business plan. It's only because I just went back a bit because of this COVID element, so that most of them, and then from where I am, we are into the political campaign season, the presidential campaign season, which is most cases messy and hard for, because many people lose their business within this time. So I just forgo we having elections in January 14th, inshallah, so that when after the elections I'll be able to do more investments and do what I had planned. So the action plan is already outlined. So you can divide your planning into maybe 3 sessions, that every element on the personal health life, what are you supposed to do, and then see what you'll be doing, the action. Then on the man health or Dean part, what are you supposed to do, take the actions plan, and then on the financial bit of it, see where have you been spending more, where are you where is the extravagance, where you can cut your budget, where you can do more savings, which elements you can invest in, the new ventures, everything you have to learn and do, inshallah. If you've been able to work with us at this element, at this point, it means you are enjoying what we do, and this must be also beneficial to your friends. So consider subscribing, commenting, liking. We need to get your feedback. But then there is a sharing option. Share this episode with your friends, with your family, so that they can also be able to learn and get something out of this element, inshallah. But remember, if we plan minus having Allah in our plans, it means we are destined to fail. So in everything that you plan, inshallah, have the element of Allah, then the blessings will be coming, and you'll be able to execute all you've planned. From now, from a team, we thank you. I'm Yusuf on Ikla TV, and I lie to the word. For now, that's what I had for you. Salam alaikum. Bye bye.
Ikra TV. Light to the world.